So now here's the question. We could just kind of take this more out of character to save the conversation, unless you guys want it. But would Mila take much convincing to come along with you guys for lightsabers?
No, she wouldn't need any convincing.
Okay, all right. Then there we go. So we can go to phase two, which is popping by the blue hammock, correct?
Believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a small stone. It's hard to miss. It's a small stone curio shop painted a most calming pastel blue from top to bottom. It's located on the peripheral of New Laszlo's west side, and this cozy little shop is known to sell all sorts of things: pre-release artifacts, new and used books, maps, herbs, video and music discs, and holistic medicines and oddities of all sorts. And when I say oddities, in its glass facing, in its glass display window, you actually see a mannequin. Looks like to be made of pure wood. It has like a wood head, a wood bust, wooden arms, and it is posed in a very aggressive manner, docking out this brilliant silvery, like liquid silvery shirt and pants. It doesn't look like it's very like it looks more aesthetic than practical, but the shimmering fabric almost looks like, you know, when you move silk around and it like makes that wonderful like little wavy sensation, I guess. It seems to be constantly doing that. And as you pass by the front of the shop, you hear a sneeze, and then something coming from the mannequin, like the word, oh shit. And then when you turn back towards it, it's just still there, just striking a post. So feel free to enter.
Can I scan it with my different wavelengths?
Sure. Wood, and cold wood.
Got it.
All right. So as you enter this little cozy shop, you are greeted by on the countertop, which is cluttered with a variety of strange and tiny items. Of it's a DB. He has gray skin, two humanoid-looking arms, but he has four legs. Each of his feet are capped in these little stumpy fabric shoes. He has two violet-colored eyes that sit tightly in their sockets, and he offers you all a kind smile of his very small mouth. His teeth are blunt and white. His nose is quite large, both long and wide, and he doesn't appear to have any ears or hair. With the exception of his face, the rest of his skin is covered in long, wavy hairs. He has a blue button-up shirt that covers his torso, and what most must be custom-tailored black pants that cover his lower half. He goes, welcome, come in, don't worry, there's plenty of room for all of you. I am Trudalt. I don't think I've made your acquaintance. I have a very, very good memory. I never forget a face, and I definitely have not recognized you. But come. Explore, wander. If you have any questions, please come speak with me.
Oh, drawing his hands and eyes away from everything that's on the shelves, he will shuffle in his pack and pull out a tattered piece of cloth and say, I've been trying to figure out exactly what this may represent. Would you know what this is?
And he takes a look at the. Do you hand him over that scrap of leather?
Yes.
Leather? He grabs a scrap of leather. He takes a look at the symbol that's imprinted upon it, that wavy symbol there. In fact, here, give me a moment, and for the sake of our role play, I'm going to bring us back to our little intro screen, and I am going to bring over the little token I made that had that symbol on it. I have to go past all the pictures of Pam and the Zytekik. There it is. This little strange, almost crescent moon-like symbol here. that's imprinted in the leather. And he takes sorry, Jackie. All right, so he takes a long, long look at it, and his face is extremely neutral and focused. And then he pries his eyes up from the leather, and he flashes a smile with his stumpy white teeth, and goes, "Yes, actually I do, but..." And he looks around a little bit, and he says, "Perhaps, can you follow me along to the back here? It's best what I say to you is in private, you understand?"
Would it be okay if my friends came? They're also very curious.
Yes, 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 of course. They can all come.
When
You're
he says,
all a team, you're all friends, yes?
when he
Mila
says,
fell
"Come with
asleep.
me to the back," Al stops studying the mannequin and starts paying much more attention.
Okay. Wait, Mila's asleep.
Mila fell asleep.
Who's gonna wake
I'll
up
wake
Mila?
Mila up. I'll do it.
All right. All right,
Okay.
roll D100.
Mila,
Yeah.
need to go.
50 and below, you wake her up. Go.
Okay, 50 and below.
Yep. It's pretty easy. All right.
21.
Mila wakes up.
Okay.
She follows you.
All right, and he leads you outside the front of the curio shop, past the vexing mannequin, around to the back of the shop, and he comes to these wooden doors that seem to lead to like a basement or a cellar, right? And he opens up the cellar doors and he gestures you to go on inside with him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go in first, or do you wait for him to enter?
Patrick will probably go in first.
Okay, all right. He'll follow after you, Patrick, and everyone enters in the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay, so the cellar is what seems to be almost. It's probably about 7 feet tall from the floor to, well, I guess, the roof of the curio shop. It doesn't seem to have any sort of wooden foundation. It looks like it's just been dug out of the earth and smoothed over in time. You do smell the smell of soil, a very warm, earthy smell. There is a few rows of shelves on either side of the walls as you enter. Some of them seem to be storing old crates. Some of them have pickled jars. Some of them are vegetables. Some of the things that are clearly not vegetables. One looks like the head of a shark. The other one looks like almost like a jellyfish. And then about 3 other very alien-looking pickled products. And so he shuts the door behind, and he turns on a simple electric light that's hanging from the roof of the wooden roof of the shop. I mean, the cellar's roof and the shop's floor.
Mhm.
He turns it on, and this very faint yellow glow goes out, and he says, "You have to excuse me, but I do have to be very careful." And with that, he starts to say a few mystical words in an unfamiliar tongue. Do you guys do anything?
We'll probably see if it's anything that I recognize, and probably we'll probably study him. That's about it.
Okay, all right, okay. Anyone else?
Just watch him
Tom's
closely.
gonna be, Tom's gonna be wary.
Okay, yeah, wary about watching him closely. Fair enough.
Mila's gonna
Um,
start singing along.
When he starts to say a few words, and then he pauses for a moment and looks over to Mila.
Mila's
and
still
she-
singing. Yeah,
Okay,
she's just
and he
gone.
just looks at her for like a few minutes, and he looks over to you, to the rest of the group, kind of curiously. And we
she-
realize no one's. Oh yeah, go ahead.
She really likes singing.
I see. And then he continues. It's a small chant in a small breathy tone. You notice that he's moving his hands in a very strange pattern. Unfortunately, you don't recognize the language, but Patrick in particular of the knowledge, but I think it'd be fair enough for everyone else. You've seen Lee cast spells, and it's clearly that's something that he's doing right now as well. And after the next, he does this for about 10 seconds, and then in a bright yellow flash, he disappears. And then you hear a thunk at the cellar door leading out. Like metal
Fantastic.
hitting against wood.
Hmm.
And you hear a muffled voice of Trudald on the other guy saying, "I'm sorry, but I have to be careful. I'm gone to get my friends. If you are smart and you really don't mean us any harm, you will stay there and not act in violence. I will not keep you there indefinitely, but like I said, I have to be very careful."
And Patrick will look around for a nice place to sit. He will actually respond, "Okay."
All right.
Okay. I am going to try and find a place to sit, but I'm going to make sure, just because I'm a tad bit paranoid, I want to hover a small little fire above my hand to see if that works.
Yes, it works.
Okay, then I'll extinguish it.
Okay.
Al is going to ask Patrick if he has anything odd looking, like an odd piece of tech with a button on it.
Odd piece of tech with a button on it. I got a broken flashlight.
Something that's not easily distinguishable.
I have a torch.
What's a torch? As in like a torch
like
torch?
a blowtorch.
Oh, like a blowtorch. No, I need yeah, I'm trying to think. I need something. I'll tell you guys right up. I'm going to pretend that while they were gone, I've rigged the place to blow, so that if they try anything funny, I can press a button and we all die, just in case they tend out to be not friendly.
That's silly.
It's Al nods his head, says, "Yes, of course, when you know it's not true."
Are we in? We are inside of New Laszlo, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Mila has stopped
it-
singing. Oh, I'm sorry.
We shouldn't need it, but I guess that could work. I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't have
is
brought
just
anything.
going to get things out of hand.
Yeah, it probably
He
would.
seems like a nice guy.
Patrick, we were just led into a basement and locked inside it.
Yeah, he's being careful. He doesn't know us.
Al's just going to raise an eyebrow. Do you have something with a button on it?
Oof.
I
Well,
agree. I will try to be as non-threatening as possible. I just don't like sitting here waiting for someone to come kill me.
They're not gonna kill us.
Do you have proof?
No.
Well,
Do you have proof?
Well,
that
do you
they
have?
will?
See what he said.
I have reasonable suspicion. Do you have reasonable suspicion they won't kill us?
Yeah, he said
No.
that they had no harm. He said.
But
himself.
I have.
So
I
did
have just
Nathan.
checked. I have just checked that my fire still works. So
Okay,
There was
never
that as
mind.
well.
That'll work then.
it's better to keep that a secret. In case they are, nice. It's better to not threaten them, and still have the ace in the hole. Technically,
Then we'll just go that way.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
You're a
Sorry,
buster.
Mila, you were about to say something. What's Mila doing at this point?
No, Mila stopped singing. She's just glaring at Al. She,
Oh.
after everything's settled down, she's gonna say, "I wish you would have said you were joking about blowing up the place." Now I'm stuck in here with you guys. And
Right.
Nora just sits on the ground, like just. She's staring at a blank wall, if there is one, or a wall.
Oh yeah. There's
Okay,
a blank wall.
she's not facing them. She's just gonna sit and stare at the wall.
Stare at the
Oops.
Percy wall.
Al will shrug apologetically.
Patrick will now look at what Nora's looking at.
Which is
Did you
just
find something?
I'm gonna go up to Nora and go, "Are you okay?"
What?
I bet
Sorry.
Patrick's
What?
gonna scoot off from so many people here.
Sorry that had to happen.
fine.
Okay. I'll go sit down somewhere.
Okay. So it'd be fair enough to assume that you guys are just going to wait for the next little while?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So it takes about an hour and a half before you hear a metal thunk open up once more. And the doors open, and the bright light of day pours into the cellar. And Trudalt enters, but his clothes now are glowing a very faint blue. In addition, 4 other individuals are with him. 2 men and 2 women. One of the women is dressed in New Laszlo military clothing, not the police, the New Laszlo military clothing. She has charms around her wrists and her neck, and the others are dressed, it looks like, in a variety of more civilian clothes. One of them is wearing a robe, and one of the men is wearing like a small, almost like a diadem or a small crown around his head. All of them are actually glowing, have this blue glow around them. Patrick, you're assuming it's maybe some sort of protective spell, perhaps?
Yeah.
By the way, I am cross-legged with the portable computer, just tinkering away.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, Inferno, is it like Lee's blue light that he once cast when...
Similar, yes,
okay,
very similar.
okay.
Yeah. And Trudalt gives a strange smile, and he goes, I am very lucky that my shop still stands and you are still here. Of course, you would have had bigger problems if you took more extreme ends. My friends and I want to ask you a few questions about that symbol that you found.
No, I was the one who was asking questions.
No. Now we are going to be asking some questions. Is that all right?
But
Tell you what,
right,
we'll ask our questions first, and then if you have any more, then you can ask yours, but we can't guarantee that we're going to answer them.
that doesn't seem very fair.
Especially
Well-
considering that you just took us down here, locked us down here when we caused or offered you no harm whatsoever, and are now threatening us with violence.
No, we're not threatening you with any sort of violence. We have to just preserve ourselves. Here, perhaps we need to clear the air a little bit. How did you find this symbol?
I found it on the floor in a very pretty ruin.
A ruin.
Mm-hmm.
It was just lying on the floor in a ruin, this scrap of leather.
Well, it was next to a fairly... How old was it? I'm going to turn to Al. How old was the body?
Didn't it was like weeks old.
Yeah.
Yeah, weeks
Weeks?
and
Oh.
smashed, yeah.
And Al can take over a little bit. We found it next to a corpse that had been killed through some sort of large, heavy object weeks before we found it.
It was probably that golem.
Probably.
At the words of killed and golem, all of them nervously look to each other for a moment, and the woman in the New Laszlo military gear gives a bit of a nod to Trudalt, and he gives a bit of a sigh, and he says, "You found him dead?"
Yeah.
Yes. It was very hard to really distinguish almost anything other than that, and I think a message on the floor.
What did the
shoot.
message say?
I'm gonna in character. I'm gonna have to, not in character, out of character. I'm gonna have to figure that. I gotta have to remember that. Shoot.
Why so serious? No,
Uh,
yeah, I don't remember either. Out of character.
Yeah. Neither do I.
Here, give me a moment. Luckily, it would be fair to assume you guys. I'm gonna have you all roll, and who rolls best is the one who's gonna remember it.
Right.
Give me a
Okay.
second. See, this is why it's great as a DM. You keep all your past sessions. So let me open up my hidden temple one, and let me go to that section. Not the hidden room. You found that. Oh, there we go. It said Sarah, spelled Sera, and then animat, and then it was cut off. And you guys figured it meant animated.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So everyone roll me a D100.
Oh
Lois
boy.
gets the memory. Oh,
Yay.
Al gets the memory. So
And,
it said, yes, go ahead.
The message, if I recall correctly, said Sarah and then animate, which we believe meant animated. And considering
At the
that,
words.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, and considering that very shortly after that we had to deal with an animated golem, I kind of gather they're connected.
At the word Sarah, there is more nervous energy and looks throughout the room. And Trudeau gives a sad nod, and he says, the body that you found, it wouldn't happen to have been Elvin, would it?
I'm sorry, but it was too destroyed to be able to tell that.
Well, you have, and you said you came across this, correct?
I can give you coordinates if you like.
Yes, we would like that very much. At the very least, to continue our friend's work and to retrieve his body. You didn't find a female, a she-elf, did you?
There's no other bodies there.
Okay.
Um,
Wait. Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
There was something about... Okay, and I'm having trouble remembering all this. When we first got the coordinates, or the puzzle to figure out the coordinates to the map,
Yeah.
it came from some sort of girl, right? Was
No,
that
it
a
was
body?
a message to a girl.
Message to a girl. Right. Was it to Sarah?
yes, it was
Okay.
Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah. And anyways, they say you Trudalt says you have given us enough information to know that you're not lying. I apologize for keeping you here, but we had to be certain. If you would be so kind to give us the coordinates of where you found, you said it was a temple, correct?
Some
and
sort of underground area, yes.
Okay.
And then Al would put a hand on Patrick's shoulder and say, "We've shown you good faith. How about you give a little in return? Answer our question, and we'll give you the coordinates. What is this?"
Trudalt says, you have to understand, with the methods that we've used so far, we can't just tell anyone who we are. Do you understand that or no?
Kind of. I don't know what
And-
methods you use.
The man who's wearing the diadem taps on Trudalt's shoulder, and he whispers them, and he says kindly, just give us a moment to talk for a moment. Is it all right if we just leave the cellar unlocked for you while we have a small conversation as to what to do next?
You didn't kill us when you came back, so I assume we're safe.
No. This isn't about killing you. This is about being fair to you.
Al spreads his hands and said, "I only meant
Tom's
to
gonna
say
perk up at that.
I only meant to say that yes, it's fine."
All right. With that, they all leave the cellar. The door is still open in good faith as you hear the murmurs of a conversation. And they soon come down, and Trudalt once again is the one who speaks, and he says, just please tolerate just a few more questions from us. This can certainly help ease our fears. Do any of you practice magic?
Al
I
looks
would
sad.
like to. I
Uh,
haven't gotten the time to do so, but no.
I'm a psychic. Neither of them know how to. Pretty sure she doesn't know how to.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge of magic or magic items? Or
I'm
did
gonna
you
just point at Patrick.
I have knowledge of such things, but I have yet to really. He kind of looks at it, just like I haven't got enough to really.
Okay. All right. Patrick. Trudel is going to probe. In character, he's going to probe your knowledge of magic and whatnot. And in doing so, I think we'll do a lore magic check with you.
Sure. Okay. That doesn't.
Hmm.
That doesn't do so well.
Okay. Trudel just gives an understanding nod and says, I'm sorry, Ellis. I don't think we can go down that route then. Instead, then, we will just simply give you our name of who we are.
Al perks up and says, I get it. You practice magic, and you're worried about people in this world who are afraid of those who practice magic, not very uncommon. And you're worried that we might be working for or telling someone. So what you're really asking for is proof that we are not opposed to magic.
That would certainly ease our fears quite a bit, yes.
Patrick, don't you have a ring or something that you could show them?
That has offensive abilities, but
Yeah, that was confiscated.
is there a bauble that anybody has that they wouldn't mind?
Ellis takes off his crown, and he says, a bauble like this.
Yes,
It's
and
diadem, really not a crown, but yeah.
would you? He's gonna ask very bluntly. Would you mind if that rose in the air?
No, not at all.
We'll probably focus on that and then speak in I think it's dragon.
Yeah,
Draconic?
Draconic.
Yeah.
Say the word arise.
All right, and it floats, hovers there in the air, and Trudel gives a little nod. He says, it's true that holding such magical items is very dangerous, and knowing how to use them does show some knowledge. Plus, that was draconic, which is very impressive. Perhaps I judged too soon, and my questions to you were a little too specific. I ask you, where did you get this amulet that you're using here?
Well, this one and he was shaping. I actually bought this one, but
I
I think all the other ones I actually did find,
Well,
including this one.
Oh,
And he'll
with-
pull out Ed.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. With that, not only Trudel's eyes go wide, everyone else's eyes go wide for a moment. And they crowd around you as they look upon Ed, the amulet. And they say, no, it can't be. Then they ask, where? You found this?
Mm-hmm. It was the first magical item that I found. It was my first excavation. It was a bit scarce, but I think it does pretty well.
I'm curious, for those of us who don't know, what does Ed the amulet look like?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a solid sort of oval red ruby, but it is encrusted on sort of a silver, but not very wide, kind of also like an oval coin, but it doesn't like stick out that much.
Oh, I see. So like a red ruby with a silver backing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
And the chain is it looks just like a normal chain, except that instead of being circular, it is rectangular for its connections.
Oh, okay. I see.
With that, they crowd around and they murmur and they hum about this amulet with quite a bit of excitement. The tense, quasi threat and kind of secrecy and tension that they were fearing is fading quickly, and instead the emotions of excitement and like awe are hitting their minds, and they say, "Please, please, please, don't go anywhere just yet. We didn't realize you had, and then Trudeau can't even find his word. We just need to speak with our friends one more time. Please don't go anywhere."